update 37 is releasing today on Tuesday, August 29th. And while the game is down for the update, I thought it would be nice to make a video where we look at all the new changes that are coming. With update 37, we're getting a brand new race. The River-Hobbit will release today, and it seems like in order to get the River-Hobbit, you will have to buy different kinds of bundles from the LOTRO store. We'll have more information on that later, but River-Hobbit is a brand new race, should have new racial traits. But I thought it would be really nice to look back at a previous video where I did a Court of the Rings recap and where Court showed off the new River-Hobbit intro. Have a look.
So, but I've got a video to show you here.
The little folk who once dwelt along the river Anduin go by many names. Some use Holbytlan, others follow hides, but many take the name given to their distant kin, calling themselves River-Hobbits. Unlike those others who departed the Vales for distant lands in times of old, they have hidden for centuries in the dells of the misty mountains, protected from danger and glimpsed by few. Yet sometimes one of their kind ventures forth, following secret paths in search of other little folk who fared west across Middle-earth long ago.
So there you have it, nice little introduction for the brand new race. It's been a while since we got a new race, but the River-Hobbit will arrive today with update 37. The River-Hobbit race can be any class except, of course, for Beorning. So a lot of options if you go for the River-Hobbit race. Another thing that is coming with this update is the brand new housing area, the humble homes of the Holbytlan. So it's basically a Lindleby housing area. If you're not familiar with Lindleby, it's a small River-Hobbit town west in the Wells of Langflood. It's kind of hidden away in the mountains, and that's basically where the River-Hobbits are based off, where they hide and just live their own peaceful lives. And we're now getting a brand new housing area. You can see the map here for the new housing area. And this video where I'm playing right now is kind of like when I had my first look at the new housing area. I thought we'd just take a quick look, not gonna spend too much time, but there's brand new housing. I know a lot of people like the housing in this game. They like decorating their homes. And it's a pretty nice housing area. What you would expect for a River-Hobbit area. Of course, there will be different kind of homes, like smaller homes, kinship homes. But as always with the world building, they do a really good job with anything world building really. And another really nice housing area being added to the game. And I think my favorite house in this whole neighborhood is the one that is far east from here, the one over here, where you kind of have to like go away from the main area. You have to go follow the Glenmouth path, and you kind of get away to this like hidden off far home. As you can see, you kind of have to go through this narrow path, and then you finally make your way to the expansive hidden gem of a location. A really nice secluded home where you can be by yourself, and it also has a really nice view of Lindleby from up here. So definitely my favorite house of this housing area. So with update 37, we're getting the brand new housing, the humble homes of Holbytlan. Also new with this update is the brand new crafting event. The very first crafting event for LOTRO, the Combe Forester crafting event, will arrive with this update. Keep in mind that the event will not go active until Friday, September 1st. That's when this event will start. Once it goes active, it'll stay active for about 10 days, then 2 weeks off, then active for another 10 days, and so on until we get more crafting events. So basically how this event works, you go to the Combe Lumber Camp and you register for the event, and more people can register, and then you'll basically have a race to earn your rewards. Of course, you will need to be a forester to do this, but your level and experience as a forester doesn't matter. All you need is the forester profession. And how exactly will this race work? Well, we're gonna look through my older video. Basically, you pick up a forester axe, and then you use that axe to gather some wood. you basically run to the wood piles, and then you use your forester's axe 5 times to collect the wood. Then you run over to the crafting table, where you refine your stacks of wood. Once you have refined all your wood, you run back and have it judged by Aldith Bauman, and your next task would then be to collect skins from dead bears. Once you have your bear skins, you go to the hide stretchers and you cure those skins. After curing those skins, you go back to Aldith. I should note that no run speed bonuses or mounts will be working during this event. This is of course from an early beta where you still could use your mounts, but to not give any classes any unfair advantages, no run speed buffs will be working in this event. But after refining those hides, you go back to Aldith. Your next task will be to drink some mead, which will make you a little bit tipsy, and then you pick up a caber, and this is like the race part of the game. After picking up the caber, you basically run through a race course, which starts here, and then you go through the red flags and end at the blue flags. So you run through all the markers, and finally you make it to the blue flags. That's when the event pretty much ends. I believe this is where it will end, like there, it will end, and then you go back to get your prize. Now, what kind of rewards do you get from this? There's all different kinds of rewards. Most notably, there's like a legendary crafting tool. But to just quickly explain the rewards, there are winner ribbons, runner-up ribbons, and there are always a participation ribbon. And earning those rewards, you can use them to claim your rewards and upgrade your items. As you can see, there's a bunch of different titles you can earn. There's forester garments that you can equip as your cosmetics. There will be some new emotes you can earn as well, some lumberjack themed emotes. There are actually passive traits you can earn. Forester traits increasing your crit chance as forester permanently, so those are pretty nice if you enjoy crafting. As you can see, 1% crit chance for forester's recipes. And obviously the higher you get, the higher the crit chance. This is a permanent buff, so pretty nice rewards to get. There are also a couple of skills you can earn, where you kind of like carry a caber, so fun little cosmetic skills. But I think the biggest reward is the Forester's Axe, the legendary Forester's Axe, which adds a 10% crit chance to your foresting. And I'm pretty sure this also counts for when you're like harvesting wood in the wild. There's also a increased 10% chance that you can get a special shard. You know, the unique shards that can drop from nodes, so this is a pretty powerful item. If you're gonna go for this legendary crafting tool, it will take a long time to level up, I think, because there's 6 different steps, 6 different recipes, so you'll probably end up having to do this event quite a lot, but there's a really nice reward at the end. So the first ever crafting event coming with update 37. In the future we'll get more and different crafting events, but this is the very first one arriving to the game. Another really big thing that is coming to this update is the long-awaited stat crunch. That's right, all the numbers are going down. Morale, damage, healing, everything is going down. Now it's important to note that this shouldn't really change anything. The only thing that should change is that all the numbers are being smaller and easier to look at. So instead of having 4 million morale as a tank, you're instead gonna have 400,000. Instead of needing like 1.5 mil mastery, you'll instead probably need like 100k mastery or so. So I did some testing on the beta with the stat crunch. As you can see on the left is where we have the lower stats. You can see the morale is lower compared to live. So all the numbers will be smaller. The difficulty difference as you level will be more linear. There will be no real jumps between the levels, not really, which should make for a better leveling experience. I should note that originally they were doing like a lot of main stat changes as well. These main stat changes are currently on hold. Don't worry, there's not going to be huge changes to the main stats. The only big change will be the numbers going down. As you can see an example here on my Beorning, the morale on beta was almost 200,000, and on live I'm almost at 2 million morale. So all the numbers are going down. You can see my stats are way lower on beta. So once the game comes up and update 37 is live, the stat crunch will be in effect, and I think it will be really good for the game. The Beorning class is also getting quite a big rework. The Beorning class will get a big refresh with this update, where you'll see a blue line getting better, getting some more cooldowns, hopefully work better as a tank. Redline Bear will get a pretty big rework, adding some new skills, and it seems like Red Bear will be about maintaining your bleeds, and other than that dealing big burst damage with your finishing skills. Yellow Line Beorning will also see some changes, and mainly Yellow Bear will go more away from being a raid-wide healer, and like the other healers, be more focused on fellowship healing. Yellow Bear will still have some raid-wide healing, keeping the ability to cross-heal with your bellow. As you can see from the trait lines, there's a couple of new skills that you earn as a Yellow Bear. So Yellow Bear will for sure be a bit different, no longer the purely raid-wide healer as we know, but it will be interesting to see where the Beorning Refresh ends up. I feel like red will be really strong, yellow will probably still be good, and blue line hopefully will also be a good alternative for a tank. But I'm not going to go into huge detail in this video. Later on I'll cover the changes for the Beorning more in depth. But a big Beorning refresh to all 3 lines coming with update 37. The other class getting the big refresh in this update is the Guardian class. Now, like I did with the Beorning in this video, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but basically blue line will become stronger. Red line, from what I've heard, feels really nice to play and will be a lot stronger, probably going to be viable as a DPS in raids. So both blue line and red line Guardian will be in a really good spot with this refresh. And as you can see, the yellow line, the Fighter of Shadow line, is no longer a tradable line, but instead it will be a utility line supporting red and blue. So when you log into your Guardian after the update, you'll notice a lot of new traits, some new skills, and yellow line being a utility line. But me personally, from looking at this on beta, it looks really good. Guardian should be in a really strong spot. Both blue should be really good, and hopefully red line is good as well and a viable option. Yellow line seems to be supporting the class pretty nicely in the Guardian refresh with update 37. Some other changes worth mentioning real quick. Weapon types will no longer matter for how quick your skills will execute. So no longer will some weapon types make your skills go off faster. So a really good change where you can just pick any type of weapons that you want and not having to worry about being slow or doing worse DPS. For Burglar, the Mischievous Delight will lose the ability to restore maximum morale in percentage, and instead it'll be a set value. And let's be honest, Mischievous Delight is kind of OP, kind of an OP heal with a 20% morale heal to your fellowship like every 10 to 20 seconds. Pretty strong skill, and it probably needed nerfing, so a good nerf to this skill for sure. For champions, the wild attack animation has been fixed, and it will also now deal 2 hits even with a two-handed weapon. So wild attack and the wild swings trait should become meta again for champion. Lore masters will see a change to air lore, quite a big change actually. Instead of being a toggle skill, you can no longer toggle it. It'll instead act as a cooldown you can apply to a target. The cooldown of air lore will be 90 seconds and the duration will be 20 seconds. The reduction and reflect chance will be higher than it is on live. So if you see someone taking a lot of damage, either a tank or any other players, you can throw your air lore on them to reduce the damage that they take. Wisdom of the Council will also see a reduction in the cooldown. It'll only be a 3-minute cooldown reduction. And a quick mention to the rune-keeper, Steady Hands, instead of being minus 100% power cost for 15 seconds, it will now reduce power cost by 50% for 10 seconds. So those are some of the main things we can expect in this update. See you all on the other side. Hey! Hey you! Yeah you! What do you want? You enjoy my content and you want to support me? Fine, I'll show you how you can do it. I would really appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me through my Ko-fi homepage. If you're playing or looking to play Lord of the Rings online, there is one place you need to be. The Ghyniverse! The Ghyniverse is a Discord server created for the community of the players of Lord of the Rings Online. The server is getting close to 7,000 members, and in this server you'll find tons of helpful information. There's monthly giveaways, easy access to patch notes, you can keep up with my YouTube videos, my streams. If you're a streamer, you can ask for the streamer role and you can announce your streams in the other stream channel. There are discussion channels for pretty much everything, every class, monster players. But the best thing about this server is probably the Gearing Resources tab, where you can find anything from trait lines for every class, every build. There are stat goals, where you can find out what stats you should aim for on your characters. Really helpful information about drop rates from instances, as well as screenshot from all the new loot that appears in the game. If you enjoy LOTRO, you should definitely consider joining this server, and hopefully I'll see you in Middle-earth. If you were part of the Ghyniverse already, you might have noticed that another tab appeared at the top, the LFF server. This server is a brand new server that I created, the LFF Ghyniverse. In this server you can select which servers you want to keep up with, and once you select your server, say you select Arkenstone, you will see the LFF, the kinship advertisement, looking for kinship and trade channels, and there's also voice channels if people want to use those. The LFF channel is basically a looking for fellowship channel where people can post if they need players for the runs, and this way people don't have to be logged into the game to see the chat, they can just instead get a notification on their Discord. There's also a kinship advertisement page where kins can post their kinship advertisement and have people join their kins, and you can also post in the looking for kinship chat if you're looking for a kinship, but make sure to take a look in the kinship advertisement first and look through all the kin to find a suitable kin for you. There's also a trade channel if people want to buy or sell stuff that you can use. Hopefully you'll consider joining this server to bring the community even more together, not just in the game, but also outside of the game.